Aloha and thank you for watching. My name is Robin Lee Hill. I'm the founder of the Global Freedom Alliance. And today we have a very, very special production, if you will. And today we're going to be exploring sacred resonance. And in exploring sacred resonance, we have one of the world's leading frequency experts on the planet. This is Miss Sheela Rahman, and it is absolutely an honor to have her with us today. I first met her at Tesla Tech. Those of you who don't know what Tesla Tech is, I strongly suggest you go look it up and join in 2026 in Albuquerque. It is what is considered the bleeding edge of technology, the help and hope for the future in terms of inventions and in terms of science and technology. Most that was old and buried is now coming back to light. And to this, we have such a beautiful example and show and experience today from Sheela to help you understand frequency and to help you understand coherence. A body cannot be in a state of healing if it is not in a state of coherence. And this used to be known. Back in the days of Egypt, you had the pyramids, rather. And most people thought that they were just sarcophaguses. They were not. They were healing chambers based on tone and resonance and frequency. And throughout time, space, and history, you have bells and cathedrals and different frequency medicines being used, and sometimes weaponry being used, all a part of frequency, because it's known that the body operates on frequency and alignment and in resonance. And attuning back to coherence is one of the most important things a being can do. And so we have literally one of the world's top experts, Miss Sheela, here today. And for those of you watching in the World Wide Web audience, literally here to help you with that. It is an honor and a pleasure. And with that, please, Miss Sheela, take it away. Take it away with your mic.
Greetings, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be here with you all today. I'm just going to turn off this reverb mic over here. Alrighty, so thank you so much, Robin, for that introduction as well. And I'm so happy to be here today. So just a little bit about myself. I was a touring musician. I went to school for first psychology and then for sound design. And so after studying sound design, I went on to have a music career, and I played over 350 shows all over Europe from about 2013 to about 2020. And after 2020 is when I started having my great awakening journey, and I started getting very, very deep into the quantum physics of sound and how we can understand it better to influence us from a quantum level and incorporate healing into our lives and even shift our neural states. So our brain waves, we can even shift using sound. And now we have proof. I have a device here on the table, the Muse headset, which offers us proof as well that we can actually show what these frequencies are doing to our brain waves, and they're generating coherence in our brains. And now there's hard proof that is completely undeniable. And I have a whole table of devices right here that I'm going to share with you all today, with the goal of bringing awareness to why frequency is so important. And I have hard proof to show you guys the reasons why. So we're in the age of Aquarius now, which is all about analyzing, showing, teaching, experiencing, having experience, having the scientific data to back something up. Whereas in the age of Pisces, it was more about the abstract and beautiful realm of mysticism and abstraction. But yes, we're in the age of Aquarius, and I'm an Aquarius, so I'm here to bring that through. So yeah, this isn't going to be a typical sound bath experience because each of the audio demonstrations are going to be grounded with knowledge and explanation, because I really want every single concept to deeply land with all of you guys. I really want you guys to learn exactly the interworkings of these phenomenon. And so my other goal is that each one of you, after experiencing all of this coherence technology, each one of you is going to become more coherent. And now when each one of you goes out into the world, you're going to become a harmonic healing device for the whole room around you. So, and you've been listening to 64 hertz. That is the bass tone that has been conditioning the space, in case anyone was wondering. Alrighty, so, all right, let's get into it. Sacred resonance. We're exploring the relationship between sound, geometry, and biological coherence. So everything vibrates. Everything in the universe vibrates. Atoms vibrate, molecules vibrate, cells vibrate, organs vibrate, our entire body and brain vibrates. Every single thought is a vibration. And every single physical object, physical structure, living system, every single thing has a vibration. Air has a vibration, water, crystals, sounds. And the goal here is to learn how we can bring these vibrations into a more coherent state. And I'm going to go way deeper into what coherence really means. And so the main teaching I have to offer you guys is what I call sacred sonic geometry. So it's not quite sacred geometry, it's not just sound, it's the actual visualization of what sound looks like. So it's very much like cymatics. I'm sure many of you have seen that before, and eventually I'm going to get a setup here too, where you play a vibration to a plate of sand and you watch the molecules of sand go into coherent geometrical patterns. So frequency is the blueprint of the universe, and the harmonic ratios, which are all based in math, shape sacred geometry. Geometry organizes everything into coherence. Coherence restores the harmony within the mind, the body, and the field. Okay, so a little bit more about these geometries that we're going to be going into a little bit deeper. So each one of these is a visual resonance engine that emanates etheric blueprints to restructure geometries in the quantum field substrate into coherence through sonic resonance entrainment. So according to principles of magnetism, the weaker field entrains to the stronger field. And we're going to get briefly into some little quantum physics in a couple minutes. But okay, so this is also a transmitter of encoded harmonic frequency-based light codes, a sacred ceremonial tool used to attune the biofield into coherent genetic blueprints, a multidimensional mirror portal that triggers quantum cellular remembrance and entrains regeneration of atomic geometry back into its original coherent, harmonically structured genetic blueprint. So again, principles of entrainment. When we expose ourselves to coherent geometries, our cells start to mirror that projection. And our cells and our biology is based in geometry. Like if you look at the cell replication process of, different types of, microtubules and cells and all kinds of structures, they're all based in geometry. And And so when we put ourselves in a state of coherence, our cells can regenerate at the rate they were meant to, and our bodies heal themselves. So that's the whole point, is because we're so bombarded with frequencies, EMFs, from every single bandwidth of hierarchy, and every single bandwidth is filled with a chaotic frequency, which again, we're going to get into a little visual of that. So the fact that we're bathing in chaotic frequencies 24/7, it kind of prevents our cells from going through that organic regeneration process. And I have tons of techniques and tools for you guys to start this process. In addition to the frequencies, some tips such as walking barefoot on the earth, hugging trees. So we'll get into some of that stuff later. But okay. So yes, so the sacred sonic geometries are what we are going to be focusing on mainly. Okay, so this chart right here it took me years to make this chart. This is some of my most profound observations of reality. It's kind of a unified field theory, I call it. Although it's incomplete, there's a lot more I have to do. And so basically, this is communicating the quantum language of ratios. So the unified field is structured by harmonic ratios. When expressed through sound, these ratios generate coherent geometries that reveal the underlying order of reality. And yeah, so these geometries are formed using a ratio that calculates them. And if you look at the chart, this is like just a basic list of ratios we get in first grade. In first grade, they teach you about ratios, and if you look closely to the top row, it says 1/1, 2/1, 3/1, 4/1, and so on and so on. It just goes through the most basic elementary ratios. And simplicity is always correct, because when you convert these ratios into frequencies, which is my life's work here, I made an entire instrument basically, which is converting that into a playable device. You are getting these basically like quantum etheric restructuring abilities each time you use one of these harmonic geometries. And these have been in documents since the age of Pythagoras. They already knew about these geometries, and they're called rose curves. And these are the real sacred sonic geometries that need to be understood and used in a very, very sacred way. And there's a reason that a lot of people don't really know about them. Like, you won't see these in the spiritual New Age shop in Sedona, and that's because they're too powerful, because they actually access the quantum and the etheric molecules of reality in ways that nothing else really does. Because these geometries, you see them on the quantum scale, you see them in atomic orbital ratios, you see them in cosmic scales, you see it in every single planet's orbital rotation is a rose curve. These are called rose curves, by the way. If you look on Wikipedia, you want to read more about them. So yes, so these geometries are the basis of my work. So this would be like the alphabet, and then if you want to start forming sentences, sort of like the one you see in the front here on the hologram, that's when you're starting to stack other mathematical harmonic frequencies and ratios in combination. So it's like adding ingredients when you're cooking. You want to start with a base of something that's harmonic, and then you start adding on layers of spices that are also in harmonic resonance. Okay, and let's go to the next slide. Okay, so and before we get into some of these geometries, there are two physical objects I want to show you. So the first one is the gong. So the gong, the purpose of the gong is, so it's meant to break down and dissolve any stagnant energy in the field. It's literally like taking a shower, like taking a bath, just washing away everything. And so the gong interacts with the frequency fields of the body and the environment, and it moves the dense energy or disordered energy and helps restore the natural harmony. So it's like almost a positive form of dynamic or chaotic energy, where because it's just kind of like using the energy of this, all these dynamic combinations to break down what is no longer serving. And then we're going to fill it afterwards with a few tuning forks. So the gong is meant to cleanse and clear, wash everything away. And then we're going to go through a few tuning forks, which are going to restructure and bring in the new coherent template. And then after that, we're going to go into a couple meditations that involve the actual geometries. So, and then after that, I have some demonstrations I would like to show you guys. First of all, regarding visualizing the voice in the oscilloscope, and whoever would like will have a chance to come up to the mic and watch your voice on the screen, which is such a beautiful experience. And I also have two other pieces of technology here. One enables you to visualize the electromagnetic fields of a laptop, a Taurus. So this one is pretty mind-blowing because it's very revealing on what the electromagnetic fields of all the devices we surround ourselves with looks like, and how we can clear it, how we can create a more stabilized field. So yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing. And the first thing I'm going to do, just to go ahead and get some energy moving, is I am going to play some gong for you guys. And so the technique that I use to play the gong, I call it song, X-O-N-G, it's on here. And so basically how it works is I play the gong rhythmically like a drum. So when you have a combination of a chaotic or dynamic frequency that's stabilized with a very coherent pulse wave of a steady drum, then you're simultaneously building order and clearing. So, okay, so I'm gonna do that for a few minutes, and then we'll move forward. So everyone just sit back, relax, and make sure to take a few very deep breaths. And this is meant to release, so anything that comes up, any emotion that is stored in the body, just be ready to let go. Slowly come back into your body. Take some very, very deep cleansing breaths. We just moved a lot of energy from the field, from our bodies, cleared out a lot of dense energy. And now we're going to be slowly coming back, and we're going to start filling some of those spaces that we've cleared with beautiful, beautiful, coherent structures. So the first thing I'm going to do now to fill that space is I'm going to be playing some tuning forks for you guys. And these tuning forks are going to be visualized with the oscilloscope. And we're going to start with 222 and 333 hertz. All of the frequencies I'm going to be working with today are called angel numbers. I'm sure many of you guys have heard of them. They're 111, 222, 333, 444, up to about 999. And in working with these angel numbers, I find them preferable to work with over the solfeggio numbers because the angel numbers are transcribed in this document of the harmonic ratio geometries, and I'm going to show you. And before I do, I wanted to let you guys know we're going to be starting with the perfect fifth. So 222 and 333, and that, if you look on the chart, is going to generate a 5-petaled rose curve, or sort of a pentagram. So there's also the six-pointed star, 7-pointed star, or you could say flower. And we're going to be showing that on the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that, and you guys can watch the geometries on the screen, and we can talk about them more afterwards. All right, everyone. Your DNA has been reprogrammed back into beautiful coherence. These are the correction codes. So go ahead and take a few nice deep breaths, integrating all that information back into your body. After a couple more breaths, we're going to move into the other geometries we have here. And again, just so you guys know, those last three frequencies were 1111, 2222, and 3333. One of my favorite combinations of all time. Alrighty. Woo-wee. Okay. So as you guys saw, how many of these geometries did you guys see in the oscilloscope? These are, yeah, that's what the sound is doing on a quantum level. Okay. Alrighty. So we went through the gong. Now we went through the tuning forks. We saw the beautiful geometries they create. And the next meditations we're going to go through are the sacred sonic geometry meditations. So I have prepared 5 different programs for you guys, and each one is very short. Each one is about 3 to 4 minutes, but each one has a very specific purpose and a specific function, and very, very, very specific frequencies and waveform types. So for example, the first one we're going to be looking at is working with sawtooth waves. So sawtooth waves have a very, very powerful grounding as well as energizing sort of effect. And it anchors your energy into your Dantian, into the earth, into your stabilization centers. And this particular meditation is meant to clear the stagnant energy and the distortions from the root of your body. And it acts as a purifier. So by showing these coherent vortex geometries to your field will start to know what to do with it through all the osmosis of your plasma field. So we're downloading blueprints into our plasma field so that our plasma field can entrain to the coherent geometries and then bring them down to the cellular level. Okay. Okay, and just a little bit about these meditations. So for a beginner, the sound might be a little bit not what you're used to. So it might be a kind of, it might just sound like a broken cable or something, but or like some high pitched frequency that you're not used to. So there's sometimes like that little bit of resistance in the beginning, but that's just going to stabilize whatever's chaotic in that realm of bandwidth. Okay, so we're going to start with the first one. And again, these are only 3 minutes. So once we start, again, take a few very, very deep breaths. And I recommend for this first one to put your hand on your belly and really ground your energy down into your body. And do some nice belly breaths during the meditation. If it feels good, you can also do the circles along with the vortex. This is one of the best ways that we can clear the stagnant, compressed energy from the lower spine, is through doing these vortex movements in our actual spine. So yeah, feel free to do that, or feel free to just breathe along and tune in. So I just want to pause that. I'm sorry, you guys. That video was actually not playing properly. That might be a little Mercury in retrograde situation right there for that one. It wasn't supposed to stop like that, but let me just double check the next one, make sure this one works. Okay, so we're going to actually move to the next one. My sincere apologies. Don't blame me, blame Mercury. All right, just kidding. I'll fix it next time. Okay, Sacred Sonic Geometry Meditation number 2. Okay, so this one, oh man, this one is super powerful in deeply connecting into your cells. So this one's also very grounding, also very resonant in the lower chakras as well. And same instructions. It's tuning you into the power of 9. There's 9 petals in this rose curve. Again, some of these frequencies from this geometry were found in the frequencies of DNA. And again, through the entrainment process, this will also cause us to entrain with those more coherent blueprints. Okay, so here we go. So please sync up your breath with the visual. So exhale. Inhale. Let's go ahead and tune in our breath for the last couple rounds here. I'll guide you guys through the breathing. So holding your breath and then exhale. Alrighty. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this one is called the multidimensional sweep siren. And what this geometry does is, like I described earlier, it starts with a base geometry and then it builds another layer of harmonic resonance that in this particular case is a siren or a sweep. So it's sweeping through an entire band of frequency like a siren, like and so the siren is playing simultaneously with a combination of other two frequencies. And in doing this, it's cycling through each of the different harmonic bands and restructuring each one back into coherence. So this is a very healing operation as well. Again, tune back into your breath, back into your body, back into your belly, breathing deep from your belly. Alrighty. Slowly coming back into your body, into your breath. These are beautiful frequency codes, reminding each bandwidth of our frequency how to resonate in perfect harmony with itself. Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, so this one, I call it the flower of creation. And the energy it connects you to is the energy of your heart, the energy of creation. So it's inspiring you to create from the heart. Resonates with love, compassion, harmony. Allows you to let your heart bloom and expand. Gives you the message you are safe. You are safe to expand. You are safe to open your heart. Alrighty. Go ahead and make sure to take a couple very deep breaths. breathing from your belly to deepen and ground the circulation of the flow of energy that you're bringing in. Alrighty, so the last one of this particular type that we're going to do is a geometry I want to introduce you guys to. So if you go to any New Age store in Sedona, you'll find the Seed of Life geometry everywhere. And the Seed of Life is super beautiful. It's a geometric marvel, and it's found in ancient countries all over the world. And it's found in architecture as well. And the Seed of Life, I associate it very much with the physical, and how you actually make these types of structures in the oscilloscope is interesting because you bind a sine tone and a square wave. So that's like the physical and the non-physical. Whereas the next geometry, which I hereby coin the term Seed of Light because it just seems like obvious. So Seed of Life is more about the physical, and then the Seed of Light is very similar, but absolutely not the same geometry. So the Seed of Light is something we find in the aether. So it's about the light, it's about the field, it's about the plasma field, it's about those geometries I was showing you guys on the oscilloscope. Seed of Light. And if you combine the geometries together, the center flower is perfectly overlaid. They're the exact same. The only difference is the edges. So in the Seed of Light, you have the perpetual motion geometry, meaning the cycle is always perpetually moving through. That's not the case with the Seed of Light, but that has other applications that are more physically based. So it's never a competition, but they're just accessing different layers of reality. Just like in physics, there's different rules for the physical realm, Newtonian physics, and then there's totally different rules for the quantum realm. There's just different rules for different systems. So Seed of Life and Seed of Light. And then I combined them together and I got the Seed of Life Light, which, as you can see, has the two different types of the outer petal structures. So I just want these geometries to circulate in the field more and more, and I'll show you guys exactly how to make the Seed of Light in the oscilloscope. And we're going to do our next meditation is going to be the Seed of Light. And basically this is going to tune us in again to the most primal atomic structures, because this hexagonal atomic orbit is literally found on the quantum scale in atoms, in electron spins. So we're tuning into the quantum today. So for this last meditation of this particular series, I want you all to think of an intention that you want to expand, because this next meditation, it's all about taking this energy that's in your field that wants to be created in the physical realm and bringing it down, bringing it through, harmonizing it. So I want everyone to think of it something that you're trying to manifest, something that you want to increase the energy and expand the energy and get that empowerment and amplification. So just try to think of one specific thing that you want to amplify throughout this particular meditation. Okay, and here we go. tuning back into your breath, embodying that breath into your belly. Alrighty, we're getting into the vocal toning section. And vocal toning is one of many ways that we can start to understand what each sound we make with our voice and how that influences our biology. So the ancient Tibetan mystics have been cataloging these different types of sounds and the meridians that they connect to. And these are just 5, and there's so many more. But these are just 5 right here that show us 5 different sounds or mantras that connect to a different organ structure, which governs a different emotional structure. So if you look at the top left, we start with the heart and the small intestine. And the heart is responsible for the love, for the joy, for the happiness. And so when you say this mantra, ha, which all of these have 2 different components. They have the vocal component and the breath component. So first you say it with your vocals, ha, and then you learn how to bring that down into the architectural resonance chamber of your body, and then it becomes a breath. So ha becomes ha. And we're gonna all do these together momentarily, but just so you know the difference between those 2 states. So for the who, that one is responsible for the spleen, stomach, and pancreas. So that is all about the trust and the openness. And it overpowers anxiety. So each one of these also has like a negative emotion associated to it. I can go through those as well, but the negative emotion for the spleen, stomach, and pancreas would be the anxiety, the worry. So if you ever struggle with that, this mantra, the who, you could also say ooh. So any of these you can take off the first syllable. We'll go back to that in a second, but the who, the W just gives it this extra push, but who is also contained in that type of group of mantras. So then we have the lungs, and the lungs are responsible for the sadness energy and also the large intestine. So if you're ever feeling sad, this energy compresses the oxygen in such a way that it is able to kind of like let that energy leave the body. So that would be the tss. And sometimes it's easier for me if I add like a T at the S just to get that tss, just to get that precision. We'll all say these together in a moment, and then we'll move on to the kidney. So the kidney, adrenal, bladder. So the negative emotion responsible for these is fear. So each one of these is a slightly different harmonic of negative and positive energy. And each one of those negative emotions that I mentioned also has a biochemical component, which once you start getting into like that, this is actual science, that our adrenal glands secrete this actual substance called adrenaline, cortisol, and that we can actually prevent that from happening by employing these techniques, and that we can choose. We have a choice of what biochemical emissions that we radiate. And if we know we have a choice, we can more consciously choose not to emit these fear chemicals, because we have a choice. It's all a choice. So we don't have to generate the fear and the anxiety. We can learn these techniques in order to balance and extract. So, and it's all biochemical, it's all chemistry. So once the adrenaline starts surging through the body, we can actually use breath to literally alchemize and dissolve that energy into a higher harmonic so that it doesn't oxidize into a harmful chemical that's creating oxidation in our body. And this is another topic that I'm super interested in, is biochemistry, because I've been researching about these ancient practices for years, and they're actually very, very grounded in biochemistry. If you start studying, like, every single gland emits a different hormone. Each gland is usually associated with a chakra and an emotion as well. And so those adrenal glands, when that's usually associated with like the chakra and the root. So the biochemical emissions are adrenaline, cortisol, there's several more, norepinephrine, and each one of these is actually like a base, like alchemical substance that we have the choice to alchemize into more beneficial chemicals for our body, that are literally chemicals that are healing us, using awareness, practice, and the awareness of our power to transmute. And this is a very deep topic that we can get more into in the future, but for now we'll move on to liver, eyes, and gallbladder. So the liver is responsible for the anger energy. And it's funny because the mantra that quiets that energy is actually shh. So people have been already doing that intuitively, but it actually does have a very calming effect on the liver meridian, and it brings out the energy of the kindness and the generosity, so the opposite emotions to anger. Okay, so we went around the circles, so now I would love to invite you guys to go through each one of these with me if you would like to. So I'm also going to be pulling up the oscilloscope while we do it, so we can see what each one looks like. How about that? So we'll try to have these both in the shot somehow. Okay. Okay, so initially, we're all gonna do these together. We're gonna do each one 5 times. Okay? Because I know the first 2 usually it's like a warm up, and then it's like you really start getting into it, and it's great to do these at home. And we're gonna start with the heart. So you guys can put your hand on your heart, tune into your heart energy, your beautiful, beautiful hearts. Okay. Take a few deep breaths just to get grounded. Okay, are you guys ready? we're going to do it 5 times. Ready and begin. Wow, that was very, very clearing. I felt that. Did you guys feel that? Wow, I felt a huge clearing. I have chills. That was beautiful, you guys. Great work. Thank you. Okay, so the next one we're bringing in is the who. So you can do whatever tone is comfortable for you. I know for me, I just always prefer the whoo. But I know, if you have a deeper voice, you probably want to go more into whoo, which I love doing the deep voice as well. But I'll probably stick with the high voice. So whatever you guys are comfortable with, just do your own tone. And it says who, but I usually say it more like ooh. And again, this one is opening us up to trust, and it is breaking us away from anxiety whenever we do this one. And it connects us to the earth element, whereas the heart was the fire element. This is connecting us to the earth element. Okay, so we're going to go through 5 times. Are you guys ready? that energy circulate through your breath, through your body. That was so beautiful to listen to everyone chant together. I have chills. And really pay attention to what this is bringing up for you. What does this make you feel in your body? And how is it different than the HA exercise from earlier? For me, it feels like a completely different energy. So, okay, we'll take a couple more deep breaths here. And then we'll move on to the lungs and large intestine. And now, this next one is very, very, very clearing. So sort of like the gong from earlier, has the same sort of clearing effect. So if there's any kind of buildup, this feels like it's clearing in a very, very regulated airflow. So it's a totally different feeling that it brings up. And I would love for you guys to pay attention to how each of you feels when you do this one as well. And you'll see also the geometry for this one is totally different as well. It's going to be a kind of a more like the gong, more like what the gong looks like. Okay, you guys ready? Okay. Alrighty. Wow, totally different feeling on that one. It really makes me feel parts of my head and my resonance chamber, like in my skull, just clearing out. Can you guys feel that too? Like I feel like more clear now. I feel like more clear, whereas the last one I felt more grounded. This one's very, very clearing. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the kidney and bladder and ears. And so this sound is, so it's almost like a sound. So this is for, so yes, the opposite of fear. So this one helps us to eradicate the fear hormone and transmute that and bring us into calmness and gentleness. So we're calling in that energy. Okay, and this is almost like a sound effect, like choo, choo. So it's like it's not so much of a sustained tone as it is more just like a choo. It's, yeah, like a sound effect from a movie, you know. So yeah, let's try it out. Let's see how it goes, see how it feels. So let's do that 5 times. Here we go. Yeah, and I know a lot of people do that intuitively. Like when we're clearing energy, we go, "Choo." It genuinely is clearing our fear hormone when we do that sound. I do it all the time. When I'm a little nervous, I'm just like, "Choo." It clears it out. Choo. Yeah, so some of these I add like a little T in the beginning to like make it more, I don't know, make it more contained or something. I don't know, like with the S instead of just S, I like to start it off with the S. It just kind of like compresses it a little bit in the beginning. Just like I think that's what they were doing here with the W. It just gives it a nice little entry squeeze. Okay. So great work, everyone. That sounded really cool. I wish I had a recording of all you guys saying that. It sounded like sound effects. Okay, so let's go through this last one here. So the liver. So this is the anger. So all of us, we have our own little cocktail of patterns. And so, you know, some people will benefit more from others than others. But yeah, this one, it's really, it feels really good when you're doing it consciously and intentionally to bring out the kindness and the generosity and hush the anger hormones. So let's go ahead and do this one 5 times. Here we go. Alrighty, and wow. I don't know if you guys felt that, but that one gave me a totally interesting sensation that the other ones didn't, or maybe it was the combination of all of them. But yeah, doing these mantras literally is manufacturing your own pharmacy. And all of this scientific research is going to be coming out it's going to be coming out that you are literally generating biochemical reactions with your voice. Whew. Wow, that one was great. So let's go ahead and continue to ground. I definitely invite all of you guys to find a place in nature at some point today where you can ground your energy, and that will help to stabilize and basically embody and ground all of the things we're doing today. So if you walk barefoot on the earth, that's great, but if you can hug a tree, that's even better. And if you can hug a tree that has no bark on it, sycamore, beech tree, birch tree, eucalyptus, aspen, that is the best thing ever, and we're gonna talk about why very soon. Okay. And this last topic I wanted to talk to you guys about and show you a interesting demonstration is the electromagnetic field devices. So I'm going to make it really simple. I have a device here that lets you see the electromagnetic field. It lets you actually see the field that we're bathing in 24/7, that we can't see in the bandwidth of our eyes, but a lot of us can feel it. And of course we use it in our technology every day, in our Wi-Fi, radios, electronics. They're all giving off electromagnetic fields that are vibrating at a particular frequency that we can't see or hear, but they are influencing us. And once we become aware of them, we can now be empowered to make decisions on whether or not we wish to engage with these devices, or how we wish to more safely engage with the devices, which there's very, very, very easy and simple ways to shift the relationship dynamic with some of these more toxic devices into a more harmonic relationship. So coils such as these rodent coils here, they act as amplifiers that harmonically multiply the frequency that's put into them. So all those frequencies that I was showing you guys, we could even use tuning forks, we could use our voices. If we plug that into a torus, it's not only amplifying the signal in the bandwidth that we can hear, it's also amplifying it into the spectrum of 100,000 hertz and above, and way above, up to 6 gigahertz and beyond. So that's a whole vibrational spectrum that is currently being filled with very, very chaotic imprints, radiation. So becoming aware of it is the first step. Alrighty. So there's two devices here. They're both working in higher dimensional bandwidths of reality. One is two coils. One is like a sender, one is like a receiver. So one is like a mic, one is like a speaker. One is sending it frequency out, transmitting it. One is recepting it and bringing it in. This one here, and there's many, many varieties, this one here is going to be sending the frequency out into the field. So all of the work we've been doing with the 20 to 20,000 hertz spectrum, we're going to be stepping it up into 100,000 hertz territory. And when you step it up into 100,000 hertz, and you're also doing it in the 20 to 20,000 hertz, that is major coherence, multi-dimensional coherence that of a state that it puts you in. And when you're in a state of coherence, your body can start healing itself, and your mind and your body can communicate, your brain and your heart. So your thoughts can actually be carried out by your body, and that connection is just so much deeper. There's less distraction, less leaks in the energy that cause a lot of the modern day issues that people struggle with, like tiredness, ADHD, depression. All of these have a solution or improvement with the studying of the energy field sciences and frequencies on multiple bands. Okay, so we're going to do a little demo here. And by seeing this, I know it's not a very common thing to see. So once you see it, you cannot unsee it. It's going to stick with you. And then you're going to tell your friends and family about how unpleasant it is to touch a laptop, for example, and how easy it is to distance yourself like 3 inches. So I'll get into that in 1 second, but let me plug in the EMF mic. Just give me 1 sec. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys what the field of the laptop looks like. And then I'm going to show you a field of a coil that's playing specific frequencies. So it's all about the frequencies, and the best frequencies to use are harmonically related with those geometries that I was showing you. So let me first choose some good frequencies to play. I think I was playing these two yesterday. Okay, so first I'm getting the frequencies going. Let's see what that looks like. And we're going to choose an interesting combination to put into the torus. Actually, I'm going to go. And yeah, if you guys can see on the right, you can see what frequencies I'm bringing in. So these are all harmonics of 64. What's that? Oh, right. Yeah, that does come up. that's cool. 12 petal flower. So this combo, it looks like it's 320 and 448 is creating this beautiful 12 petal rose curve. Some people also call the 12 petal rose curve the lotus of life. I mean, every single rose curve has a huge catalog of correspondences from nature to ancient civilizations, and I'm working on cataloging all of that, by the way. But one of the associations with the 12 petal flower is it's called the lotus of life in particular schools of thought, and it actually is generated with a crazy ratio, which is the square root of 2, or 1.414, which is, it's also my desktop background here. So people call that the lotus of life. Wow. I feel like this one's activating something in my brain right now. Activation. Okay. So we found a cool geometry. 1.414 lotus of life. And there's something I wanted to mention here as well is these the pulsing adds a whole other property of characteristics to the energetic patterning that the geometry is doing. So if you start pulsing the geometry, that is going to initiate a very specific type of energy and healing and cellular entrainment. And this is such a deep science that's been hidden from humanity by design because it's so powerful. It's so powerful. You think, anyone, pharmaceutical company wants you to know that you have all of that in yourself. So let's get into it, and I'll just show you guys an example of how to pulse this wave. So we're gonna go the tremolo, which is an amplitude shifter modulator. Tremolo is an audio effect. We're gonna just drag that in to the second frequency, 448. Whoa, that is so cool. I've not seen that one before. Wow, that is crazy. Whoa, let me make that a little bit bigger. I feel like our group consciousness just like manifested this together. Let me zoom in. Whoa. That's so cool. These geometries are also antennas. They're antennas. So whatever information you transmit into them is going to get recepted into the field. That's how these geometries work. So we can actually tap into ancient wisdom with these geometries because it's basically the language of the ether. It's the language of light, the flowers of light, the seeds of light. Ooh. Yeah, so we're all building this one together, you guys. This is so cool. So let's just play around with the tremolo. The tremolo, again, it's called the amplitude modulation. So it's turning the volume up and down really fast. So let's just play around with these controls here, see what happens. Whoa. So these can also be used as binaural beats because there's a third frequency that is coming out of those two frequencies based on the pulse rate. So the pulse rate becomes a new third frequency. If you guys know much about binaural beats, it's two frequencies combined together create a third frequency, which is the modulation between them. It's also called a beat frequency. That's like a technical definition for that. So that looks like that's what's going on here. We're opening up a portal right here, you guys. What do you want to say to the quantum fields? What do you want to send in there? Everyone's going to hear. Everyone's going to know. Love wins. There you go. Does anyone else have a message for the quantum field? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyone else? One more message? Coherence. Yes, we're sending the energy of coherence and peace into the circuitry of the grid of the entire planet. Okay, let's just keep playing around with these controls, see what else comes up. So right now it's on a sine wave modulation envelope, and we're going to use a square wave. So while a sine wave goes like this, so it's slowly going up and slowly going down, a square wave is 0 to 100. 0, 100, 0, 100, like a square. And so that's boom, 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 pulse wave. That's what creates energy, a current. It's a pulsed wave. So let's put on that square wave modulation. Wow, look at that. Slow it down a little bit. I mean, speed it up. Whoa. Slow it down. We'll decrease the amount a little bit. Some also say these are the most powerful CE5 protocols. So if you guys see any UFOs tonight, don't be surprised. You'll know why. You just created a bridge of coherence between you and higher dimensional beings. So now the probability of seeing them and encountering them is actually higher right now. Whoa, look at that. Wow. So much fun. At some point, I'd love to teach some kind of a workshop if people want to do this, because it's healing, it's art, UFO protocols. It's so many things, and it's like the original science that we should be teaching kids in schools, because this is the real science, where science, math, physics, art, it's where it all bridges together. Sound, music. Okay. Okay, so I see we're also a little bit over time here. So I noticed it's about 12:12. So yeah, if anybody, I think I have the 12:12 tuning fork. No, I don't. I only have 11:11. Okay, so yeah, if anybody needs to leave, feel free to do that. But for those of you who have a little bit of extra time, I can go through that last EMF demonstration. I know this was kind of a happy diversion from that, but we can get back to that because I really want to show you guys the EMF microphone. Okay, turn that down there. Do you guys remember where that started? We were finding a geometry. This is my life story, ADHD. No, we were finding a geometry to put into this. And then we found this 12 petal geometry that looked really cool. And then we went down that wormhole, rabbit hole of psychedelic geometry. And now we're back. So now we're gonna get back to the EMF mic viewing. Okay, all right, so what I just did was I took the audio out from sending it to you guys in the main room, and then I put it now into the torus. So now the sound is being projected into the field of about 90,000 hertz. So that's why you can't hear it with your ears, but your body and your field, the fields can hear it. And I'm gonna prove that in 1 second. So this EMF mic here, the detection is about up to about 100,000 hertz. So about 20,000 hertz, which is the limit of our hearing up until about 100,000 hertz, or 100 kilohertz is another way you could say that. Okay, so first we are going to look at the field that's emanating from the laptop. And I'm gonna warn you guys, this is not a good thing to do because we're amplifying negative EMFs, but we're doing this for the purpose of educating you guys so you know to never touch your laptop again. I know it's a bold statement, but I have solutions, and the solution is a $10 external wired keyboard and mouse. So you pay $10 and you save so much energy. And if you could see the energetic transaction bank balance of how much energy was being extracted from you just from physically touching these chaotic EMF emitting devices, and how easy it is to just create a tiny bit of distance from it, everyone would make the change. So let's take a look. So this is the EMF coming out of the laptop. So that is very chaotic, very dirty, and that imprint, which is the opposite of everything we've been doing today, so we're gonna turn that off, is basically what we are in training with every time we touch our laptop or our phone. The phone is just as bad, different types of radiation slightly. The laptop is probably way worse. but it's way easier to fix. So anywhere I go, I always have a wired keyboard and a wired mouse. They're like $5. And people think I'm a weirdo because I will not physically touch my laptop because it burns my fingers. And yeah, I'm just more sensitive than normal people, but it's good because I can warn everyone else, how to protect themselves. So now let's look at the field that's coming out of the torus and still close to the laptop. So as you can see, the geometry was a little bit dirtier when it was on the other devices, but when I moved it away, it becomes cleaner again. So that's the electromagnetic field. And you can build your own coil. I made my own. You can make your own coil for very cheap, and you can prove that it's doing the same thing. And yeah, maybe I can do a workshop on how to do that at some point. But all it is a ferrite core magnet, copper wire, an auxiliary component soldered together, putting in an auxiliary unit. But it's really all ultimately about the frequencies that you put into it. So, but also the geometry of the coil winding matters an immense amount. Winding a coil is similar to the toroidal geometries of the rose curves. Every single configuration of the petals is a different wind of the coil that has a different energy signature, different angular momentum, different energy transfer. So it's a whole field of artistry to start delving into the correspondences of, okay, we know this generates coherence and power, but what specific type do we want? Like I know Stephen over there is a pro. Maybe he can do a lecture at some point giving us more information about these coil windings and the geometries and the depth of all that. And of course, Marco Rodin, of course, he's a pro at the topology, how to properly wind the coil to get the highest level of coherence, the least amount of leaks. So that's what we're doing here, both in the coil and in our bodies. We're minimizing the leaks. We're sealing up the leaks by having the energy circulating where it's supposed to. So that's what these blueprints are telling us, reminding us, and showing us. Okay, so we'll do that demo one more time. This is the laptop. Very dirty, very chaotic. Now this is the coil. So that's what it looks like in the 100,000 hertz or 100 kilohertz spectrum. And you can feel it too if you're sensitive. You can really feel it. Feel the difference between the two. And then let's put them together and see what that looks like. So I know it's hard for you guys to see exactly the distance that I'm holding it away, but when the coil is a few inches, like 3 or 4 inches away from the laptop, it does seem to have some ability to cancel out some of those chaotic waves or overpower them, kind of. Alrighty. So, okay, so that was the EMF demonstration. So I hope you guys remember that one. So next time, spending too much time doing touching a laptop for a few minutes, of course, is fine. But when people have the laptop on your lap all day, no, no more. Don't do it anymore, okay? Please, I'm begging you, don't do it. If you saw what was the transactions that were happening on a cellular quantum level, you would not be making those transactions. Okay. So let's see what else we got here. Okay, so I know we're a little bit over still, but I mean, I have endless things to show you guys, but there's 2 specific things right here that I just want to show you. Number 1, this right here is the mic that will prove to you that hugging a tree is the best freaking thing you can do. It's the most healing thing on earth. And basically how this EMF mic works, this is also an EMF mic that works in a fixed bandwidth. This is a variable bandwidth EMF mic. So what that means is you can dial the knob like a radio, and you can shift the bandwidth just like a radio dial, old school radio dial, where you're shifting between 98.5 FM or 106.7. So that is this. And so what these 2 prongs do is allow you to hear your own body, use your own body as a conductor. So when you put 2 fingers, 2 contact points, it's contacting the energy through your body, enabling you to hear what your body is hearing and processing on a cellular vibrational level. And when you first become aware of it, it is a little bit scary because you realize how much stress and bombardment your body is processing constantly. However, in seeing the reality, we can shift it and we can find the solutions. And the biggest solution that I've personally found is hugging a tree. Literally, the hippie huggers had it right. The tree huggers had it right all along. They knew what they were doing. They could feel it. So the sensitive people usually figure it out first, and then everyone else figures it out 10 years later. So yeah, they had it right, and now we have scientific proof. And I would love to tell you guys, I also have the proof that's gonna validate the tinfoil hat wearers. I have the scientific proof. I got your back, tinfoil hat wearers. I got your back. I got the proof now. No one can mess with you. And, but yeah, actually copper foil has like a copper foil hat. I literally made a copper foil hat, and I have scientific proof that shows that it's blocking EMFs using this technology. Yeah. Copper foil. You can get it for $10 on Amazon. Another tip for your phones, by the way, is they send a pulse burst into your eyes every single time you open your phone. And I have footage on the infrared camera that shows the pulse burst, pulse rays. And there's thousands of patents that show the potential for what these pulse burst arrays could do to someone's consciousness. All it takes is one snapshot, and it can send somebody's entire brain into a particular state with just that pulse burst. So the way to prevent that is copper tape over the camera. Regular sticker is not going to work. The infrared goes through the sticker unless you have copper foil. $10 on Amazon. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this mic. So when you walk around and you have headphones on, you touch a tree, and you can hear the amplitude of all that noise, all that chaos, radio waves, cell phone towers, all that that's grounding into your body, draining your energy, all of that noise decreases in amplitude in dB. It goes down substantially. And some things you do cause it to decrease more than other things. And I've been cataloging those things. Like walking barefoot causes that level of chaos to go down. Hugging a tree causes the levels to go down. Hugging a tree with no bark causes those levels to go to 0. That's the most powerful tree. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I really wanted anybody who would like to have a chance to see their own voice on the oscilloscope, maybe doing one of these chants, to come up and check it out. So maybe if somebody wants to do ooh a couple times. Do we have any volunteers? Alrighty, we have a volunteer. What's your name? Clinton. Yeah, I'm just gonna just switch out the cables here for a second. Hold that for a sec, and I'm gonna switch. So maybe come around on that side. Hold that first there. Okay. Alrighty, is that good for you? Okay, give me one second. Let me just do these controls here. Okay, you want to do a quick test? Let me see if I see.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2 1 2.
In here. Yeah, it's just we unplugged the mic to plug in the EMF mic, so we just re-plugged it back in. Try again.
Testing.
Make it bigger. Do you want to test frequency?
Yeah.
Let me try one. How about this one? Is this one too deep? I can go higher.
Try to match that.
Wow. That was so beautiful. Are you a singer trained or do you practice chanting much? Oh, okay. Wow, okay. That was so super beautiful. And every single person has their own beautiful, unique geometry in their voice. Thank you so much, Clinton. Does any other brave soul want to come up and try it? Hey, how's it going? Do we have a time limit?
No, just after Miguel, just gonna close out the live stream.
Okay.
And we can go ahead and get
Okay. 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 So he's going to be the last one on the live stream, and then we can still keep going, keep on going with this. Anyone else who wants to come up can come up, but we're going to close the live stream after Miguel. So.
Before you close the live stream,
Oh, after him.
I know, before you close the live stream, how can we find you? I know that you're a regular on the Alpha and Omega Roundtable series. Tesla Tech's Alpha and Omega Roundtable series with Zero Point Energy with Dr. Haralek and Dr. King. How can we find you? And I know you're on Hope with Teeth, that's my series. And we're going to be bringing information about trees and the biochemical responses and biochemical responses for all sorts of emissions. How else can people follow you and make sure that they're staying in touch and following one of the most groundbreaking, amazing, benevolent, cool as all get out scientists and experts on the planet? How can people follow you?
Thank you, Robin. Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. It's pretty new still, but I would love for you guys to check it out. And yeah, it's all pretty new in the field, but it's called Zetheria. So Xaetheria. Zetheria. So just find me on YouTube and say hi. All right, so now we have Miguel. Ready? Show us what you got. Sorry, I don't know how to make this different. Oh, there you go. There you go. You can adjust it as needed. Okay. you so much. Wow. He just issued us a sound healing right there. Wow, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much. And we all have medicine for each other. Every single person's voice is medicine for another person. Just so you guys know that. And okay, so we're going to wrap up our live stream right now. And we'll continue on with everyone in the room after that. But I just wanted to say bye to everybody out there watching. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you were able to learn something and to get into a higher state of coherence. Hope you're able to take some of these teachings and practices with you wherever you are. Sending you all out there much love, peace, coherence. Peace out.